breaking down Hold It Together.
Live from Le Chateau. This is like one for the steppers. It's like the club hit. Have everybody grooving.
One of my favorite things about Hold It Together is the synthesizer. That gives it more of a unique melody.
Yeah, it really does have a unique melody. Like the samples and sounds that were used, like the horns, the kind of flutes, and it's very different.
Even all the effects with the whistle, really like how everything comes together.
It's got a really interesting groove and rhythm to it too.
Interesting groove and interesting sample chops.
Definitely interesting sample chops. I really like how that one came together too.
Working with Triakwa, starting the tracks in Austin, Texas, we started off with clip mode, and that was something that I was not used to.
Yeah, I mean, even like you're saying, like setting this session up, it's something that I'm more familiar with at times. Later realize, oh yeah, it's kind of like putting the hat on, like when arrangement mode, like a linear layout helps and continue to progress and add those new ideas rather than, you got a clip and it's like, designing these clips and how to move forward.
Yeah, it was really refreshing to learn something new and also put the clip modes into creative mode. It was very unique to learn the clip mode style from Triakwa and create more of the ideas and demos with the unique combinations that clip mode was giving us.
It was something I really learned, like a lot of arrangement and layout and like song structure from the project as well, from going through the arrangement modes with you and how to move them from the clip mode. And even like we were hanging out, and then right next to my desk, there's a Novation Launchpad that I've had for like a long time. And even you were pointing out, like, why aren't you using this? Like, and it worked perfect for exactly what we needed for the, launching the clips and being able to bring those into arrangement mode and making it like a instrument rather than just like, like a piece of gear that I'd had for years that was just hanging out. It was the perfect thing for the moment.
Yeah, it was one of the challenges was starting it in clip mode and then finishing it in arrangement mode and getting all the ideas more into a linear space.
Yep. Yeah, like how to fit them into the puzzle piece of the track. Absolutely. This is like really interesting how like it worked out like that because, I'm very familiar with the clip mode like view and not as familiar with the arrangement, and the arrangement mode was like your bread and butter. So it was just synchronicity how it all worked out like that. Like,
yeah, it was really great how both styles came together to finish this project. The clip mode from Triakwa, the arrangement mode from Pachinco.
And I think a lot of things with the project worked out like that as well too. Like with even like me having like more of a mixing background with certain things as well. Like being able to help with some of the mixing and the sonics and, the effects and like using the effects for like ways to help the mix rather than just like as a direct effect in the song. How everything came together for that. Even working on Pachinko's previous project too with 8-track, mixing that and us getting the masters and everything right. It just really set the tone for smoke signals and especially for synchronicity once we kind of had like honed those skills too.
Oh yeah, it definitely gave us more of a direction and a way to explore before we actually got to our own project. We were experimenting with mixing techniques with 8-track first, and after we locked that down, we were ready for smoke signals and the second project, Synchronicity, which we're very happy to finally have released.
Man, it feels so good too, getting to that finish line once again. But I fully agree. Like, smoke signals would not be what it is, and Synchronicity definitely wouldn't be what it is without like 8-track and like going through that full process. It's wild to think back in retrospect how everything fit together, especially even us being so far apart like geographically, being able to implement technology. And I mean, even in the process, I had to get like a new laptop, like upgraded to using like a like a hugely different version of the software, and just like so many different changes that in the moment there were hurdles, but looking back, none of it could have been possible without it and being willing to make those changes.
Yes, lots of adapting and learning new techniques to overcome the challenges, like using Google Drive Google Sync, to work remotely from Austin, Texas to Los Angeles, and really to hear and see what each other's working on in real time, have everything locked in and synced up. And that's probably one of the reasons why we call this project Synchronicity, is how we were able to lock in everything from such a far distance and all the moving parts that had to take place for this to get finished.
Absolutely. And I think too, what we really got to double down on and like black belt up in was like that workflow, and it was like, you realize, especially like working with someone else, and like the things that you fall short of, or like when you work best in, like with us doing the Google meetings, like sharing screens and both being able to see what the other person's working on. You're like, let me hear that. Let me hear this. You're like, what are you working on? What are you working on right now? And being able to find like comfortable ways to encourage each other to like get more done and be able to find what you're not doing and why, and having those conversations without having to be frustrated, and being able to just recognize like, oh, okay, like one of the things that we work really well with is being able to sync up, and having to synchronize those watches and being able to share screens. And it's like we're back in the same studio, and even just to think like, I mean, now it's been a year and a half, I guess, since we've physically seen each other. Like, and it just seems like we get like we're in the same studio like we were a year and a half ago every day. And just being able to utilize like the technology that's available to us now, like without it, it would have taken that much longer, and like there probably would have been a lot more trips planned, and just being able to identify those little ways that we can skill up and what we're working on like at this moment, and how much more we can handle. So it's been like a blessing utilizing those tools.
Let's talk a little bit about the title, Hold It Together, and how that came to be.
I mean, I'm trying to even think back to some of it. I remember it's like that feeling that you're in the space, you're in the club, and you're trying to hold all of it in together and process it all.
Well, Hold It Together started off as the first initial feeling, which was Ray-Bans inside. And as we were getting closer to releasing the track, Triakwa came up with a new way of describing the feeling.
Yep.
Which was Hold It Together.
Yeah, it's like that feeling of, I remember even too, I had a homie that like he'd always wear like his sunglasses like inside, and we could be anywhere, but just like it's like that feeling of being in the club or like the space, and everybody's dancing and you got like your shades on and you're just trying to like hold it all together, still be present, but yet you could be one too many over the line, and just trying to process it all as it comes and just trying to hold it together and get to the next step.
There's no other way to describe it.